Okay, very exciting. We are making family brew. We've adapted this ratio that we got a recipe ratio from Dragon Earth Medicine, Josh and Kelly. Thank you so much to help fuel us in our PBB, pre-baby body era. We, for 2 years, Tyler and I drank this tea and share with you that, you know, from the base of this formula, of this ratio, we've just basically adapted it in, and I've sort of just, you know, played with it a little bit. So we're gonna just go with that. We're gonna take a big bowl. We're going to just add a whole bunch, and basically we're gonna build it together. And yeah, it's pretty wonderful. So we've continued to drink this and ingest this for the last, well, taken us 2.5 now, and now we call it the family brew. And we hope to have another one day, and hopefully a little K. Tyler and I have been working with our naturopath, and we continue to. And so I've learned along the way by having tests done of my blood work, which has been able to prove and share with us how consistent my value of how much I'm ingesting as iron, trying to up my iron potentially to build for baby. So what had happened with me was I was at, like, it was 18 and I had to work up. I got all the way up to 88 on my ferritin, and that is like the blood count you're talking about for iron. What you need to know for your iron is the ferritin, and that ideally you want to have over 90, you know, into hundreds comfortably, but to get those numbers are like, wow. So I've been striving just to try to hit, you know, 88, of course, or, you know, up to 100 is the goal with our naturopath. And so by climbing bit by bit by bit, as we were seeing it, you know, worth my effort and more effort, and nope, not good enough, oh, do better. It was really neat. So being able to adapt lifestyle changes to be consistent for me to see some successful outcomes and to feel good and to feel great is really wonderful. To know that I'm trying to stick around for a longevity of Tegan's life, and then hopefully to maybe we'd be blessed to birth another beautiful, healthy being is our goal. And if that's the case, you know, I need to count my ferritin and figure this out, because the ferritin is our iron and iron is our blood. And if I don't have enough blood for myself, how am I going to make a baby? Right? So we were recommended from our naturopath to do what it takes. Now, one of the best sources is this babe right here. Now, there's many other great sources, but she's the first one. Miss Nettle. We love her dearly. And we double her. She's a 2-part to our general 1-part. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them up, and you're going to start to see them come together, and then we'll give a big stir together. So you'll see this being built. So take note if you'd like, but basically I did sort of a ratio, generally explained as a 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Some parts I will double it up because I like it and I like the power of it, and that's, for this, a 2 to 1. So I don't do a scaled amount, I do visually. Everything weighs differently, everything looks and is scaled by volume with different weights. So what I'm looking for is just a nice value of volume by eye. Then I'm gonna mix it together, and then we store it in the jar and scoop from there, and we brew from there. And I'll show you how much we brew, because we're also gonna strain to drink. So we had some ingredients that sometimes you can't buy, and it's hard to find some sources. This is alfalfa. And there was one being oat tips. We had a hard time finding oat tips at one point. And so we got oat straw. So now I'm just kind of blending a bit of the straw and the tips. And of course, all these garden herbs that we're growing too, there's other flowers and stuff that, you know, aren't as, we don't have in an abundance. So this, you kind of bulk up more on these green herbs than you do more on the more delicate refined ones. You take a less amount of those. And of course, price can be a factor too, but ideally if you're just going for your health right now, that's wonderful. Last time I put in some chamomile, and this time I'm going to as well, because it was really nice. It was just light, so I'm just going to sprinkle some in there. It's going to be a half amount. Now I'll do a 1 amount. 1 to 1. So I'm just going to throw my lemon balm there. So this is our own, not store-bought. Oh, it's like all this love and effort, but I love it. Okay, so she's not ground down, but that's okay, because it'll just kind of mix in and be beautiful. And if anything, we can just tear some to make sure she's a little bit, because I leave the stems personally. I don't mind them. I just make sure they're a bit short so they can get in and out of the vessels, and then they can go into my teapot and I can strain from there. because as you can see here, we just put it in and then we strain later. So that's so got to get some more of that on the fly for sure, because that's really, I don't have a whole lot. That's all we have. It's all herbal. It's all friendly for Tegan, for babies. These are oat tips, and we were recommended those. So we also have oat straw and oat tips. And I believe that is it. So again, we don't use any caffeine. It's just a herbal tea. So we got nettle, alfalfa, moringa, oat, lemon, holy basil. Yeah, rock and roll. That is a good start right there. And I think they might have had for the pre-baby body part, our PBB, we had raspberry leaf. That's really, really good as well. So there you have it. You just kind of go around in little circles, fold it like you're basically twisting, you know. We're gonna brew in this jar, and I'm gonna show you how much basically I do for an amount. I do about 1 full cup amount. So to this, I'm gonna do 2 cups amount. So I do 1 full cup to that 2-liter jug. See, not everything is by a scale. Ratios work too. Okay, that's nice. So that amount is gonna fuel and fill up, and then we're going to pour boiling hot water in here, right? Bring it off the stove from the boil, and then pour this up to about here, and then we're gonna let it cool down, and then store it in the fridge overnight, and then we're gonna strain it. Please, I recommend, if you're going to use glass jars, put this into the sink on a towel. Take your boiling hot liquid and you pour your boiling hot liquid in, and then you leave it. This has potential to break, and if it does, which I hope not ever, but if it does, at least it's in the sink. You've been recommended. Again, all of the glass is tempered differently. How long you've used it, if it clangs and, you know, maybe there's a fracture that'll develop, you're not too sure. So just be very, very careful. So put it in to, put your water in, let it steep, and then let it cool overnight. And then you're left with this beautiful brew. We like to brew 2 liters at a time, and we drink this over a day to 2-day period. Tegan chugs it, and so does Tyler. And yeah, so we've converted it from the PBB to the family brew, and it'll be more green sometimes depending on your ingredients. And with the moringa, it was more green, but that's pretty much it right there. This is our beautiful cup. Delish. Fresh. It's something that honestly makes me feel quenched more than water when I'm like same with the kombucha. When you just need something to wake you up, feel vibrant, like it does that. And the green tea, when you've had too much kombucha and you just need something, but water just, I swear, I love it. I love this family. We will forever drink herbal cold tea, herbal hot tea, fresh flowers and herbs in summertime from the garden into the teapot all the time. Then at wintertime, we have her dried. That was the extra abundance, right? You then dry them. But, you know, it takes some time for sure. Because, I mean, for all of the flowers to get petals, it takes time. But in time and good time, with effort, you will begin to have a stock supply. These are dandelions. Look at that. Are they beautiful? The shiso, she's so pretty. That's the purple and green. Rose petals. These are the butter blossoms that we see everywhere. So I dried some. I thought, how pretty would that look in your nice little sprinkle in your tea? This is an older lavender, okay? This is almost brown looking, and this has got a little bit of scent. It's kind of purpley, but look at this. This is this year's lavender. Now, I mean, it just tells you with age and light and clear vessels, right? So being in this room doesn't help, but that they've been looking like this for a long time. High tea with these pretty girls. Yep, into not a whole jar, but that's a decent amount for our stock. Just set it there, and I'll put a lid on that later. Okay, hello. So what we have here are some ingredients, and I'm just gonna go from the dry to the fridge of what we have. So we have arrowroot starch and cornstarch and baking soda and salt, which I just moved away. We have French clay, bentonite clay, and then we have a white cosmetic clay, cocoa butter, activated charcoal, and vanilla bean powder. We have essential oils and hydrosols. These are specifically hydrosols. Hydrosol, hydrosol. So calendula, chamomile, lavender, just like the flowers, calendula flowers, the extraction of the essential oil leaves water, and that is bottled up. This is safe for consumption for children under 5 years old. Tegan, the only thing we have used on him and washed with him and given him in the soap remedy of the world of things, besides a little sunscreen that we had to a little bit, that was a challenge, is this lavender right here. And then the only things he's taken and ingested, as well as a couple squirts of lavender, but is the chamomile for teething, specifically fabulous for teething. He just we've been through bottles of it, and we've made ice cubes, and we've added like 10% or a quarter of the ice cube. I've added chamomile to it, to water, and then in those little lolly mesh bags for babies so they don't choke on the chunks of food, we would put a couple ice cubes in, and then we would hammer them with a spoon, and they would shatter, break, and then I would spray some extra chamomile on top on the mesh and then give it to him, and he was sucking those back like amazingly. Calendula, that is really great. Calendula is a super healer for wounds and sores and rashes. So topically, your body wants this everywhere. So anytime he has a flare up, which he hasn't really, but if we've needed to, we've cooled him down with the calendula. And again, I wash his body, and I use well, we're talking topicals and we're talking baby all of a sudden. This is how it goes. Okay, so hydrosols are safe for babes under 5 years old, and then they are recommended to be able to use some essential oils. Be careful, there are some essential oils that are not ideal and are unsafe for children and for humans, for internal application especially. So really get to know. I recommend that you find a certified, a very pure quality source, and you can enjoy your essential oils at your leisure. So this is a company that I love, and this is Aromatics International. And then Aromahead is a company that has put together a aromatherapy program that I took, and then they pair with this company that makes all these essential oils. They work together synergistically with their program and their content, and then they package up actually a lot of bundles for what the program is. They package what you need to buy. I just go out of my way to buy a plethora of different ones. But yeah, so some come already blended, like the trauma oil. You learn about this stuff along the way. So, lemon, for instance, is topically, it oxidizes, so it can burn the skin in sunshine. Fruits do that, fruit peels, so be very, very careful. And they're potent. These oils are the rind from the grapefruit rind. Right there, I've got orange, grapefruit. It's the rind, and then the water from the process is the hydrosol. So super light and aromatic, very, very potent. Drops, spray, like that. Another way to go for a room mist or a face mist, you can infuse them with crystals, and you can make a crystal elixir with these as well. And you can face mist, you can use it as a antibacterial in the negative to keep negative bugs away, and especially if you do a blend. We have inhalers that we buy from this company, and then we dab the essential oil into the inhalers. And an inhaler looks like this. So we buy these, and basically these are the refills, and this is the vessel, and then it has this. So that comes apart. This is the top. You go sniff it. So I use purple for my lavender. I have the blue one and I have a teal one for eucalyptus, tea tree, lavender. Chickweed is really great, especially if you make it into an ice cube, because it will relieve the burn, but also inflammation if you have something going on. If there's a sting or a bite, super awesome. So I definitely highly recommend that. And we have castor oil. This is a fabulous ingredient on its own that it goes into a lot of items. This would be a good substitute for glycerin. It can help cataracts. If you put it, drops in your eyes, can help. If you have any blemishes, it can help. You can just kind of dab around. It can help break down the scar tissue. There's so many great mediums for the castor oil. So super excited about that. It can help your rash, and it can help the face as a lubricant too with eczema. So this is avocado oil, evening primrose oil, sunflower liquid lecithin, aloe vera gel, a jojoba, arnica, vitamin E, all right, we're talking face masks, healing ointments, SCOBY, beautiful, loving SCOBY. We have SCOBY whole, that is the byproduct made from kombucha. It is the seal that forms from the symbiotic love and friendship that bacteria and yeast have. And that is what SCOBY stands for, symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And so you can see here we fed this twice. We started these two straight from their own liquid, of their own starter liquid with no SCOBY. This one we had a giant one that was all mushed in, folded in, so you can see him all in there still, or her, you can see her in there still. And then I pulled out just a pureed SCOBY, just to reference and see that. So let's just start with the small one. So they're pretty thin, you can see, gelatinousy. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can get this proper light. So you can see how my shadow's in the way. They're super thin. Peekaboo. So you basically would smear it, lay it on some eyes, poke some holes, and that's your SCOBY. So ointment pad as well is an idea here. So tomorrow what I'll do is I'll take out the next feed, and I've got one more feed I can add to these girls, and then that feed we just put in a little bit. So next feed will be that much, next feed will be that much, just across the board, and that's just the sweet tea. So these are yeasty bits, you can just wipe them off. So there's that second skin gelatin silicone. This is rejuvenating skin cells, wrinkles for sure too, but also for healing. These were made with no SCOBY. They all were formed all on their own. The first one was the big one because we let it go 2 weeks. So that babe's 2 weeks, and then these are 5 days. So this one's all odd, like I said. It's not ideal if you have pieces, because now all of these are formed in all of their own way. They've all floated to the top and then they're sandwiched like that. So I'm just trying to peel off the top layer. So it's not too perfect of a circle, but can you imagine that going on my face? Peekaboo. Lay it down on your couch or somewhere cozy, wrap some warm towels, and you know, put on some music and candles, and get some cucumbers for your eyes and poke some holes, right? Cut some little cookie cutter holes out of here. Again, you know, I would definitely use some cookie cutters, or you can tear a hole, but like I'd rather not. Well, there you go. This is a toothpaste powder. I recommend just even taking up baking soda and charcoal straight up on its own and dabbing that. Do a coconut pulling once a week. This is a toothpaste mix. It's a powder mix that is baking soda, salt, sea salt, cloves, cinnamon, and there's peppermint and stevia, as well as the bentonite clay and activated charcoal. So the two stevia and mint that I have, grind the powder herself, powdering her in. Mint, we're gonna put them together, and so we're gonna just put them into a coffee grinder. And yeah, this is mint from, so good. last year's garden. Super fragrant. Ooh, knock your socks off in there. Amazing. Yeah, beautiful. Just a nice green powder. So that is a powder here. Now what I'm going to do is, because I have all these ingredients like this, I'm going to just stir it together and then do one big sift. So you can substitute out for extract if you need to, but then that would make it liquid. So what I opted to do was just add it all powder, and then I'm going to dab this as my toothpaste. Right? Nice toothpaste powder. Bentonite clay, baking soda, sea salt, clove powder, cinnamon, peppermint, stevia, and activated charcoal. Powder. Toothpaste powder. Lip balm. So this is wonderful. Beautiful. Watch this. Nice and hot. Just out of a double boiler. Basically, I want to add my cannabis coconut oil and to my beeswax. Okay, so we're going to now add in our essential oils, and I'm sticking with tea tree and orange. And what I love about this, I'm just going to go same for same, as long as they drip the same. Oh boy, no. A silicone mold that I'm using for massage bars, which is awesome because, you know, it's kind of a lot of fun when you can make your own massage bars. You know, offered a massage and pleasured with massage. It's so good for our soul. It's so good for our skin and our body. And if used with all of that love and intention, and then, you know, really great product, it's such a win-win. We keep these in the fridge and then we just massage them. I had made some of these that were pretty with flowers I set in there that from the garden. Kind of just lost its fizzaddle because it's been sitting in here for a bit. But basically, that's what some of them were looking like, more perky. Yeah, you know, cute little gifts. This is a massage bar base. You can see it's already, you know, it's pretty firm. It's all ready to go. So you just need to scoop out what you need, you melt it, and then you can apply or infuse it and then reset it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna scale out this with our cannabis coconut oil that is decarboxylated and ready for us. We're gonna add that in. So that's all there is. It's just this mixed base that has these ingredients already. And then I've kicked it up because it's pretty neutral with some essential oils. This is the massage bar base. I have it mostly liquefied. Counting 44 drops per. Baby powder. So what we do is we take arrowroot powder and cornstarch and clay, green clay, or the, you know, the bentonite clay, and we do a 1-to-1. And you can add a vanilla bean powder, which is ground down in the coffee grinder and sifted. So you can add that in. We have Norwex cloths for our home and our bodies. This is one. It has a silver lining. So these are great because they disinfect, sanitize, they're antibacterial. Another great way to go is I've been recommended was to take your grapefruit peel left over and rub those as well. And that citrus will kind of cut your griminess in a natural way. This is a skin brush. So this is a dry bristle brush, and you're supposed to go up towards your heart, starting at your feet and kind of working up. And you're just supposed to, before your shower, brush. Take time and brush. Removes exfoliates your cells. It removes, it rejuvenates, it revitalizes your blood flow. It's a win-win to do dry brushing. Tyler and I both have one, and we just have our own names on them because I find that would be gross. brushing with his brush. We bought this premix of the Castile soap. And so what I do is I just add that straight up with essential oil, and then that becomes my foamy foam soap. So this has coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, and rosemary essential oil, and aloe vera. So I just add that, and I add some essential oils. I'm sticking with lavender because of Tegan. It's what we ideally love to continue to thrive with him. And yeah, we've washed his body with lavender. He's 2.5 and he's super clean. So there you go. This is ready. I didn't make that base, but because they're super basic neutral ingredients, I went with it. And then we just use that in our bathroom as a nice foamy, as a nice foamy soap. Okay. We're making floor cleaner and table spray all-purpose cleaner. We basically take a tape, and I can't be bothered to go back and find what the recipe is, so we write on the labels. It seems to help really well. And so we have similar ingredients that we use together for both of these. So I'm just gonna roll through each one separately. Let's start with the floor cleaner first. We're going to top it up with some water. We use iso alcohol. And then we're gonna top from water to the iso. And then we're gonna hit it with the essential oils. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 of each sounds good. We have lavender. We have cedar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Super. And we're gonna take tea tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we're gonna take orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so that's lavender. Oh, and lavender. Oh, I think I did lavender. I started with lavender. Can't hurt to put more lavender.
Can't hurt to put more lavender in.
I think I totally just did that backwards. But anyway, there you go. So spray cleaner for our family house. We have 200 mils of water, 90 mils of vinegar, 90 mils of rubbing alcohol or iso. And then we do 30 mils of Castile soap and 8 drops each of tea tree, peppermint, spruce, lemon, eucalyptus, and orange. 200 mils of water. So we make our own kombucha vinegar. That's right, I use my growlers because I don't drink beer anymore for storing our vinegar. And we need, what did I say, 90 grams of vinegar. But I do want to have a little strainer because sometimes they form a little SCOBY. There you go. So we're gonna go 90 grams or 90 mils. And I do this all by eye. And make a mess while I'm at it. That's okay. Because it's just vinegar. This is a straight up vinegar that we use. And we also just have a water one. Amount isopropanol going in, and this is going to be 90 grams or so. 30 grams or 30 mils, which is 2 tablespoons approximately, of Castile soap. Now, Castile soap is a blend from Aromatic International. So their quality product, they make this blend. And this is coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, rosemary extract, and aloe vera gel. I'm gonna do 8 of each, and I'm gonna swing down tea tree and just fire them back in the container after. So I keep these in the fridge. For good luck. the tea tree around, ain't no problem. Just gotta rub it in. All right, tea tree, peppermint. So the cloths are important. Hydrosol, essential oils, quality of ingredients, making your own vinegar is so important. Making your own vinegar, so important. It's so exciting to be able to make our own aged vinegar, then to clean and cook and fuel and balance our bodies and feel great and live longer. And it's cheaper. And doing all this together with family, you know, coming together, collaborating and doing projects, bonds the family, our families together. I think it's not a bad way to go. So this is our house. This is how we're doing it. Whoa, that one comes up fast. And that was the spruce. Now I'm doing lemon. And you can see why I like to write them down on the side. So if you just do a little prep work ahead and you write yourself your own little sticky notes, then it can help too. Whoa, there you go. And that was lemon. Oh yeah, smell that. Potent. That's the rind, the essential oil off the rind, the powerful flavonoids. This is eucalyptus. So we have our hand soap, we have our floor cleaner, we have our table cleaner, and then we have our window cleaner. And again, vinegar is super all-purpose. You add that with baking soda. Baking soda gives a grit anytime you need any of that, like if you're doing, you know, your sink or the bathtub and you just need a little extra grit, you can do that. And with that cloth in the bathtub, with water or any of this, if you wanted to use one of your the table cleaner, you can spray around. I use it for that and the toilet. I also use another earth-friendly, eco-friendly bathroom cleaner every couple rounds, so I get the extra kick. But I'm not using that all the time. I more or less use this mostly, and then I top up with that one. But what I was gonna mention in the bathtub is with the pink mat, you can take grapefruit halves that you've already squeezed and maybe juiced, and you can rub those as well. And that is a beautiful way to buff and pull the grit and any of the impurity muckiness out of your bathtub area. Mwah! Oh, honestly, it's really about the kombucha. Kombucha vinegar. It's really about the kombucha, but the vinegar is a great bonus. Kombucha vinegar into room cleaner, spray, windows. I find that I'm even using it now for the windows, not only just the vinegar and the floor cleaner. And then we need toothpaste and lip balm. Toothpaste and lip balm. And toothpaste powder, mascara, and massage bar. And that was tonight. So I hope this has served you well. We're gonna go into the bathroom and we're gonna scrub the counter with this good, beautiful, old-fashioned soap. And I'm gonna show you how great she is. Let's do it. Lucky for us, Tyler put in a bright light. Super bright. So I kept this. I kind of just let it go grimy and dirty. I don't know if you can see. Super bright, but there's splotches. Okay, so I'll get it out of the way. There's, I don't know if you can see all the splotches in the window, in the mirror. Right? You can see these are just like toothpaste smears. Yeah, kind of let Tegan go to town. Yeah, there you go. So it's pretty dingy, okay? Now if you look at the counter, it looks shiny, but it's too pretty dingy. The sink. Homemade, all myself vinegar. All ourself. Look how clean that is. Look how clean that is. Look how polished that is. Boom. I'm going to pour some of this into here, and then I'm going to pour this into here. I'm going to take this jug over, and then that's going to stay on a little hotter. So it's going to have a couple temperaments to give me a little bit of time allowance. So it's as simple as this. You just pour them in. Most of the way to the top. Just trying to level them up, trying not to drip. And then put your wick in. Once they start to color around the edges, you'll see them starting to settle up. So basically every like row, go and dab. So I just get them ready. I get about, I don't know, a dozen or so, a couple dozen ready. So slow and steady. Try and get them in the middle as best as you can. We have 3 parts beeswax to 1 part coconut oil. I fried with it. I used my coconut oil to the ends and then to the point of it oxidizing and being to recycle. Family brew, check. Home and body spray, check. Counter all-purpose spray, check. Floor spray, check. Window spray, I did that with the home body spray without even just the vinegar, so it showed with essential oils how clean it can be and not streaky. Cloths, candles, leftover coconut oil that we used for frying our chips. And then crystals, talked about the moon water crystals and how to infuse that into elixir. Massage bar, skin brushing, lip balm, toothpaste, face mask, toner, body spray, type of like distilled water or quality water, and vinegar and essential oils, and just spray. You're good to go. And healing ointments, pads, paste, and the vinegar. All just straight up ingredients. So you can see why cannabis and kombucha are super integral and a big part of our family here and our home health and remedies that we do and our, you know, the ways of what we do. So here are the recipes that we've been working with today. That's the lip balm, toothpaste, mascara, massage bar, family brew. And again, I toyed with the ratios 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, you know, 2 to 1, half to 1. You find your way, but it's super forgiving. The thing is, people are too reserved and nervous to have more. It's all just some help, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of that. And so, on that note, I say cheers. All right, mother lovers, I'm going to clean up and go to bed. Probably by, hopefully, well, it's 4:51, so I'm not going to be in bed by 5, but 5:30 I'll be in bed. Peace. Good night. Take care.